All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning back in. Okay, so I had some technical difficulties, to be perfectly honest with you. But those have been fixed. And so now we're going to just go ahead and go through the blue pens that I have. And if you remember, I told you I don't really care for these, but I do have them. They do write well. I just don't like them. And then the Papermate Ink Joy. There we go. So I absolutely love these pens. I love the way they write. I love the different colors that came with them. And as you can see, as I'm moving everything in the frame, I have a lot of Papermate, but that's because Papermate is a really good pen product. I mean, it is absolutely great. I want to say something about these. You cannot get these outside of Staples' website, at least in my state. Actually, about 2 states, because I do travel for work. And you cannot get these outside of the website. So I absolutely love these pens. These last, and I normally buy these pens in bulk because I do a lot of training. And I can write with these pens for like hours, and the grips don't hurt. They don't hurt my hand. They don't hurt my wrist. I love them. And then, of course, another friction pen. I do have to say that the blue writes better than the black. Not as good as the purple, but it writes well. It writes very well. And then, as you can see, a lot of Sharpie. Absolutely love Sharpie. And I actually swatched out my Sharpie and my Bics a while ago. And I know that these are supposed to be for coloring. But again, like, I have themed letters that I send out to people. So last month it was vintage coffee. So I had a bunch of vintage stickers. I wrote with brown ink and got this from the Dollar Tree. I got this from the Dollar Tree. What is this, 2020? So 2018. It's not even halfway gone. But yeah, so I don't even remember what I was saying. But anyway, I think this one is another. Nope, this one is a Uniball. Okay, so Uniball, and I don't have a lot of these, which is very strange because in high school I used to write the ish out of my notes with Uniball. Let's see. So these are the knockoff Arteza, and again, I absolutely love the knockoffs better than the actual Arteza. I don't really care for the Arteza. Again, because the saturation, they don't write that well, and they don't last that long. Again, I can with the knockoff, I can write. Okay, and just so you see, the colors are kind of similar, not exact, kind of. And again, I do a lot of pen paling themed, and when I was doing my Van Gogh letters, this was, these were the colors I used. The knockoffs just work better. This one is a darker blue. And then, of course, my gel highlighter. So when I am doing my book journal, I will use the blue to highlight any unfamiliar words. And then in my journal, I will use vocabulary is designated the blue color. Don't ask me why. That's just what I decided. And I'm pretty happy with that decision. I had one of my soap making friends send me this blue one and the black one. I have the black one in my pen pal writing thing, and I'm going to show that to you. But the blue writes very well as well. And then, of course, my Staples highlighter that I was telling you about, which is still full because I've barely gotten a chance to use it. And then, of course, I have my Micron 05. And it writes well. It does. I know that these are made for drawing, but you know what? I'm going to write with them. If they write, they write. And then, of course, my blue pen. And absolutely adore. So are those all of my, yeah, so these are all of the blues that I have that I use or that I haven't used yet. You know, of course I swatched everything out. And of course my handy dandy. I actually got this in a pen and color, can't speak today. I received this in a Michaels pack. It was a 10 pack of color pencils and regular pencils with very cute. So on one, it was these. These are the pencils. And then these would have a little thing on top of them too. And I took the erasers off. But anyway, so these I got from Michaels 2 years ago, around back to school time. And I absolutely adore them. I adore them. I adore them. I adore them. I don't really write with pencil too often, but when I do, I absolutely love those. Sorry, I didn't mean to put my big meaty claw. That's a SpongeBob reference, if you all didn't get that. Anyway, my roommate says I'm weird. I say I'm just interesting. Anyway, so again, Papermate Flare, love the pink. Oh, dear God. I have a pen pal. I have two pen pals whose favorite colors are, or their favorite color is pink. So I use the pink when I write to them. Now I purchased this at Staples a couple of weeks ago when I first left after the lockdown. And I kind of think they're okay. I have a gray one as well. I like the way the gray writes better. Of course, the red friction pen, which is phenomenal. I don't really use red when I am annotating books or use my book journal. But I still like to have a nice red pen. And of course, my Inkjoy, my rollerball, and then oh, God, I love these pens. I use this one as well. I mainly use this one when I'm writing to my pen pal in New York because I write longer letters to her, and the grip on this is just, I don't know. I mean, I do know it's just phenomenal. My ink pen, as you can see, I absolutely love ink. I love it. And of course my gel highlighter. Now I will use this because when you actually, as you can see, kind of sort of has a more orange tinge to it. So I will use this in some of my books. And just so you know, I don't annotate YA books. I read what I call heavy reading books, like history books. Really just, I hate to say deep thought because like, oh, I'm so cerebral. But basically that's what it is. I'm a big buff for history, especially like religious history. I absolutely love it. So this one right here actually has the writing on it much better. I find the grip, as you can see, is kind of indented. It hurts my fingers. And I try to make sure, you know, I don't have like a toddler grip on stuff, but it really does. It hurts my fingers and I'm not sure why. This is where this thing disappeared to. Okay, so I also am writing a series of novellas, okay? Related novellas. Anyway, and so this goes into my writing pack. And I could not figure out what I was missing out of this pack. And of course, now I found it. And I want to tell you something. I've had this for 2 years as well. I love this writing pack. I absolutely stinking love it. And I love it so much that I barely use it, which is, of course, stupid. Because if you don't use your inks and your ink pens, they're going to dry out. I know this. And I know you all know that I know this. But it's still, I just have this weird quirk. I don't like using pens that I absolutely love. Now, I did get this And it's not showing you exactly how neon this is, but this is like freaking neon, like when highlighters first came out type neon. It's almost blinding. This is a Paper Mate as well. And I normally only get the blue and the black. I don't know why I have a red one. That was probably gifted to me. That, or I was signing something and walked off with it. If I did, charge it to my head, not my heart. I'm not a thief. I haven't really used this one yet, so I can't really tell you. I did, again, swatch. So you can always go back to my older videos and look to see. And this is one of those knockoff pens, but I don't really get the point of these pens. I understand that as you use them, the colors change, but it's never quite dynamic enough for me to say, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I don't know, that's just me. All right, so on to the black and the gray. Okay, so with these pens right here, I love them. These, again, I get from, there we go. Oh, come on. It says Pro Tank. And Ink used to make these tank pens that I have gone online to look for. They had them in purple, blue, black, and green, I want to say, and they stopped making them. And it was basically the entire pen, like this portion was clear, and you could see the ink. I went online and finally had to call them. The only way I can get the original tank pens is if I purchase 50,000 of each color. That ain't gonna happen, Jack. I mean, I love them, but I'm not rich. I mean, if Bezos wants to, you know, break a sister off with some, that'll be great. So now I will tell you, I did not use this one when I did my swatches in my video because, I mean, it's a black pen. My RSVP pen. Can you see? Oh, not really. Anyway, it's a Pentel RSVP Fine. And what's crazy about this is I used to use these in high school many, many moons ago. Of course, my ink pen mark. My Sharpie, absolutely love. Now, this is something funny. Back in 2019, I went into Office Depot, and this guy was doing a hard sell for these. And I didn't know why. I'm just like, it's an erasable pen. You know, in my head, it was just like, it's the same as this Paper Mate erasable pen. What do I care? And so I did try it out, and I'm just like, meh, you know. Okay. Of course, back to my favorite. And then, again, ink. I don't know why my cap. There we go. Ink Basics. Absolutely love it. And as you can see, I barely have any ink left in here. I use this sucker all the time. Of course, Friction Pen, the one that I say railroads, and it's just absolutely horrible. My regular ink. Now, I have gray over here too, but, you know, Stabilo. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for those people on Instagram, I never would have purchased a Stabilo. My ink metallic, which writes so flipping well. And then the knockoff Arteza. Another knockoff Arteza. This one does not write that well, and I've tried it on a couple of different mediums. It's barely there, so no. Okay, so next up is these. These are my actual writing when I'm making notes for my novellas. These, along with the other pens I showed you in the case, I use. And then I have, oh, and they write very well. They absolutely write very well. Next is this. If you don't go to, like, what do you call that place? Goodwill. If you don't go to Goodwill, I understand people have a moral, you know, dilemma when it comes to shopping with them. I will say this, even with that moral dilemma, they have great stuff, because this is where the person who purchased this for me, that's where she got it from. Okay, so absolutely swatch that out too on a video. Definitely check it out. All right, so I purchased these after watching Ray Dazzle, and she is an artist that I actually admire. She and Draw with Waffles. I absolutely adore both of those women because they got me back into drawing after many, many moons of not doing so. And it's still rough going, but you know what? I actually like these. You don't need a lot of water. I've used them on regular printer paper, poster board like this, and an actual sketch pad, and they work very well. The saturation is great, and again, you don't need a lot of water for these. I haven't tried to layer with them yet, so that's going to be something else I'll probably do a video on. All right, and I love these type videos. What is in my pencil case? Okay, first and foremost, I absolutely love this, and I got it from Amazon, and I did a video on it. And as you can see, a lot of my pens are already out of this, but I love this, and I love the inside, because if you just need your pen portion, but if you also need to reach in here for something. But if you say, okay, well, pen portion is done, I just need to reach in here for, XYZ, boom. You've got spots for, as you can see, I put my little color tabs, and this is normally what I use when I am actually studying. So the yellow is for an interesting fact. Studying and writing, to be honest with you. The green is for an interesting fact that I can cross-reference from another book. This is just for me to write notes to like research later. I use this one to tab on a book where I've highlighted in orange, letting me know that there is a book referenced that I need to go back and get the name and the author and write it down in my book journal. And then this, normally when I tab this means it's something I have to look up. I have to look up, and it is either something that is blowing my mind or will blow somebody else's mind. So, yeah. I do have the friction highlighters. Okay, so one thing about the highlighters, and that's just any highlighter, whether it's friction or not, please, 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 highlight first and then write over it. Highlight first and then write over it. These do erase clean. I do absolutely love them. I have my crafter's tape in here. I'm not sure why, but I do. And then for the times that I am not writing with a friction pen, because I do mainly use my friction pens for my journaling now, I have this in here. And again, tabbing for books. Let me just put that tab right there. And then this is like a peachy pink friction pen that I love. I did not love the Jelly Roll at first. I had the 05 in here, and it just barely showed up. So I got the 10, and I loved it. I got the 10, a 08, and a 05 in a pack. Love. And I actually bought the Jelly Roll based off of watching Amanda Rach Lee's videos. And then, of course, my little eraser. It's so cute. Oh, well, got a dirty booty right now, but my little eraser. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video here, and next I will be getting into my stamps, my other art. Well, actually, I'll show you the other art supplies right now. And again, this came from watching Ray Dazzle, as I like to call her, of the Rayvolution. That's on her one of her t-shirts. I do paint, stain, and do arts and crafts, so I'm going to actually get back into that. And for when I'm decorating my letters, definitely. And in fact, I got this as a a random act of kindness. That's what one of the pen pal groups calls it, when you just send somebody something without them asking. Absolutely love it. So anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this portion. I have one more portion. And again, if you don't mind, just click that subscribe button and the bell, and you will start seeing more and more of my content. Thank you all.